Good gentleman from District 4.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'd also like to declare Rule 38. I do work for a company that is involved in the healthcare industry, and this bill may affect.
Duly noted.
Thank you.
Gentleman has the floor.
Thank you. To debate the bill. Mr. Speaker, I'd like to thank the body for the decorum and conversation that we're having today, and thank the Speaker for keeping it civil. And Mr. Speaker, I'd like to say our choice today is between state sovereignty for the state of Idaho and federal control. If we give up control, we will never get it back. In the case of an Idaho-sanctioned exchange, the simple phrasing of saying no is actually surrender. As we've heard today, a vote against 248 is a vote for a federal exchange today. You've been encouraged not to get wrapped around the axle with facts, but the facts are important. Either Idaho creates an exchange or it doesn't. If it doesn't, low-income, lower-middle class, and small business owners that employ such individuals, the exchange-eligible population, will pay dearly for that decision. And what will we gain for their sacrifice if we condemn them? If we load these people with such a burden, will it mean more freedom? Will it mean increased state power? Will it preserve individual rights? No, it will not. Under the Commerce Clause in the Constitution, our federal Congress has stuck us with the unwise law and an accompanying regressive tax under the clear taxing authority in the Constitution. Reprehensible, yes. Unconstitutional, no. Idaho believes in and has always upheld the principles of freedom, limited government, individual rights, and state power over federal power. Allowing the federal government to operate in exchange would be antithetical to all of those principles. Now, I'm extremely happy with the language in our bill, and the attempts at needling the details prove one thing. We have to be proactive. If we choose a federal exchange, we give up power of the details that we're arguing about today. Sovereigns have to choose their own path. They don't follow blindly. Idaho must choose the path that is correct for Idaho. Each of us has a role in protecting our rights, and now is as critical time in that struggle as our country has seen in generations. However, we must do that in accordance with the rule of law, the principle that protects our right to bear arms and freedom of speech, the rule of law. Unfortunately, under the rule of law, federal law has passed both houses of Congress and was signed into law by the President. It was then upheld by the Supreme Court. We must continue our fight at the federal level to overturn this unwise law. At the state level, we need to continue to work within the bounds of the Constitution to ensure our individual liberties. What we cannot do is abandon the rule of law or the fight. We cannot nullify federal law by embracing a federal exchange. I understand the need for symbolic action, but I cannot embrace such a symbol that would hurt our citizens and destroy our hope in creating an Idaho solution to the healthcare crisis. Our fight should never include laying down and surrendering to the federal government on the exchange or any other issue. We must, however, be more proactive in ensuring that we solve our problems, like the healthcare crisis, at home, so the federal government will never garner the power for a law like this one again. Short of scrapping the Constitution of the United States and starting over, the state of Idaho and its legislators do not have the power to overturn this law by defiance. Again, symbolic action is important, but condemning our working class and small businesses to paying the federal government higher taxes and fees is not defiance. The choice we face is to decide what tool will be available for the exchange-eligible population to avoid the federal law's regressive tax. To be clear, if Idaho were to choose federal control instead of the state exchange, it would do nothing to advance freedom and would hurt some of the most vulnerable assets of our economy. If we choose federal control, we hurt no one's pride. We will not disappoint the federal government, and we will not cause the President's plan for America to fail. We'll simply force our citizens to fund it. Idaho must be proactive about protecting its sovereignty. Given two choices with a constitutional yet unwise law, a choice to create a state-sanctioned exchange is the best way to protect Idahoans. Federal law must be dismantled, but if we must do that, we must do so within the bounds of the Constitution. Pretending to have power we don't have will only hurt us more.